I am ranked number one. One! That means I'm the best.
Some said this would be a competitive fight. I never saw that. I didn't do a prediction video, so you'd have to take my word for it or say I'm on some bullshit. But I didn't see it that way. I saw this guy come up short in one fight against Gabe Campillo, and I saw Teddy Atlas talking to him after having to lift his spirits, and I wasn't convinced then. And the Edwin Rodriguez win was very exciting, but it was just crazy. And with that kind of reckless abandonment against a counter-puncher like Adonis Stevenson, you're going to come up short. But it made for a good fight, and the PBC give us another exciting fight, which you don't have to pay for. Stevenson, first round, he moved very nicely, dictating the pace behind the southpaw jab. He lands an overhand right as Williams came forward. Williams backed off, and then a left cross flattened Williams. He struggled to get back up, but he survived the round. Round two, Adonis was looking for that right cross again. He landed a good one. Williams, however, was keeping his gloves up higher, coming forward. He landed some decent shots while Stevenson tried to counter. Williams lands a left uppercut and a right hand, and Stevenson takes it well. I didn't get to see the fight live. I got a delayed recording. But while I was searching for a copy, people were telling me that Stevenson was getting rocked all over the place. Now, maybe my copy isn't that great, but I didn't see that. He caught some good shots. And Williams can punch. But I didn't see him getting rocked all over the place. Maybe I need to get a better copy. I don't know. I'm not sure if sometimes people get swayed by the commentary. I had a foreign link, so I couldn't understand what they were saying. But anyway, round three. Toe-to-toe slugging. Williams was teeing off. Adonis rides the attack well. Stevenson lands long rights and long lefts to the body. Williams with the high guard is leaving his body a little exposed. But Williams landed a 4-punch combination, starting with a left hook. He does a little jig at the end of the round to suggest that he's back in it. In round three, Williams comes out energized, taking it to Adonis behind the high guard. He does become a little wild with his shots, and Stevenson is one of the best counter punchers in the game. Another left hook from Stevenson after he himself was caught hurts Williams. A left uppercut puts Williams in reverse gear. His legs look a little shaky. He dabs his left eye after an exchange, feeling for damage. Both men exchange good shots, and the round ends. Fourth round. I couldn't tell, but I assume it was a low blow by the ropes, puts Williams down. He takes time out to recover. Williams looked to me like he was getting a little desperate, trying to land them big haymakers, them big right uppercuts. But Stevenson was very wary of what Williams was trying to do, and he was way more accurate in the exchanges inside. He started working his man over, to the body especially. A left hook made Williams turn away. He turned his back from the action and walked towards the ropes in dire straits over his eye. I've seen that happen in modern day boxing quite a lot recently, and I was always told that if you turn your back from the action, that's surrender. The fight is over. So I don't know what's happened to that. I don't know if he was suggesting it was an illegal punch, but it wasn't, and the referee waved Williams back in. He came back in. Stevenson, great body shots. There was a little short left body shot, then a jolting left uppercut to the head. Williams was soon backing up. He looked tired. He looked sold out. Another good exchange. Stevenson won that. Forced his man back to the rope. A right cross lands by Stevenson. Williams was down. He couldn't get back up. He couldn't beat the 10 count. I don't know if the referee waved it off. Even if he didn't wave it off, my guy was not beating the 10 count. So in my books, that's a KO for Adonis Stevenson. That's the 7th defense of his WBC title. And in my opinion, I'd say his opponents have been better than Triple G's. Just putting it out there. Just my opinion. You can shoot it down. I believe his opponents have been better. Dawson, Bellew, Zaki Elbika, Fonfara went on to prove himself as a world-class fighter. He lost recently. And I think his fights have been better. He's more vulnerable than Triple G, which gives the opponent the impression that he always has a chance against Stevenson. Hits just as hard. I'm not saying they've been the greatest challenges, but he hasn't got the credit that he deserves, in my opinion. He's been in some great fights. Some of them defenses have been great fights to watch. but he's not credited as one of the great action fighters, a really good counterpuncher with deadly power. That left hand is something else, man. And the right jab, excellent weapon. It was when he took apart Tavares Cloud. That's when I learned more about him. His movement is subtle, but it enables him to set up great punches. You see, I won't go into too much of a amateur analysis, but the greats will tell you, the great trainers and boxers will tell you, it's all about the legs. You know, people see big punches and they think, oh man, look at that, extraordinary power. No, you got to set up the right angles. Your legs have to be balanced really good to set up them power punches. And he's good at doing it. He's 38 years of age. How long can he keep going? As long as he still has ambition, I suggest. He's not taking a ridiculous amount of punishment in there. So if he keeps himself in good shape, looks after himself, lives the life, and still has ambition, he can keep going. He can keep going. Now, somebody tell me that was a bad fight to watch. He boxed, he slugged, showed a good inside game. Williams Jr., in saying that, not a great challenger. Only one loss to Gabriel Campillo, and I didn't give him a chance of winning this one. And Stevenson done what he was supposed to do. But I'll just say that Williams Jr. is no worse than a lot of the challenges that a lot of these champions are taking on and getting credit like they're ATGs. So if it's good for one, it's good for all. It'd be good to see him get a significant fight. I don't know, he throws out the picture in terms of the Ward and Kovalev saga, at least until 2017. But Canada, they go home happy, seeing their champion win again. Look like a big crowd there in Quebec. Adonis provides knockouts, which is no bad thing. Williams' inability to stick to a game plan is going to bring his career, at least at top level, to a halt. He's not going to be able to pass a certain level. He's a hothead. He needs to study his tactics and stick regimentally to a game plan, an A plan, a B plan, a C plan. But you got to stick to the script. This guy will throw uppercuts from way out of range, and he just don't care. But we need fighters like that, so the skillful counterpunchers can show what they can do, and their fights won't be snooze fests. So that's the beauty of boxing, I guess. You know, reckless come forward punches and craftsmen dissecting them. And sometimes the reckless punches, they have their nights too. So Stevenson has an extraordinary reach for a light heavyweight in 77 inches. Really good reach. So while he looks smaller than some of his challengers, they're struggling with that reach because he's hitting them when they're thinking they're out of range. He's catching them out. Because you might look at the fight and think, why doesn't Williams use his length? Because he doesn't have the advantage in length. He was outreached by 5 inches, even though he was the taller man. And Stevenson knows how to use that advantage. If you get a chance to check this fight out, you should do. Regardless of the quality of the opponent, it was a great execution and performance by Stevenson. And Williams himself, he's got that energy which makes for good fights. He makes for good fights. So it was a good combination. Good show by PBC in Canada. They're doing a good job down there. And I look forward to seeing Adonis Stevenson again. Hopefully against a higher grade of opponent. But you know, it's all politics, baby. Politics as usual.